Speed has always been about more than numbers. It is a measure of intent, of a company's ambition to push limits that once seemed unbreakable. Every generation of riders remembers one machine that changed what they thought possible. A motorcycle that redefined control, balance, and raw power. Some arrived quietly and faded away. Others announced a new era. What happens when a brand known for steady engineering suddenly takes aim at the very top, blending endurance reliability with the aggression of race technology? That is where the story begins. With a machine that stood as proof that the superbike age had truly arrived, a creation born from precision and daring in equal measure. This is the tale of how design, performance, and pride combine to alter the landscape of motorcycling forever. Stick around, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which machine you want to see next. In 1979, the Suzuki GS1000S arrived as a bold statement from a company determined to rewrite its own reputation. Until then, Suzuki had built dependable, fast, but mostly two-stroke machines that thrived on the racetrack but struggled to win hearts on the street. The GS1000S changed that narrative overnight. It was the embodiment of four-stroke maturity and performance discipline. It showed the world that Suzuki could compete head-to-head with the reigning giants of the superbike class. The engineers had studied what made a large-capacity motorcycle both fast and controllable. They understood that brute horsepower alone could not define a great machine. What they needed was balance. The GS1000S was born from that philosophy. Its engine was an air-cooled inline-4 that delivered effortless torque across the rev range. Smooth at idle but fierce when provoked. The displacement of 997 cubic centimeters placed it at the peak of the displacement wars. Yet Suzuki's approach differed from others chasing raw power numbers. The company focused on reliability, on mechanical refinement that allowed everyday riders to access superbike performance without the fragility of race-bred components. The result was a bike that felt as if it could run forever. The GS1000S was as civilized on a highway as it was ferocious on a track. This blend of civility and aggression set the GS1000S apart. Riders could commute during the week and dominate the backroads on the weekend. A rare duality in the late 1970s. Its 5-speed gearbox shifted with remarkable precision, and its frame geometry delivered a newfound sense of stability. At high speeds, the Suzuki GS1000S tracked straight and true, earning a reputation for predictability under pressure. Yet, the real story lay in how the company's racing ambitions seeped into every detail of this production bike. Suzuki's racing department had already been experimenting with four-stroke endurance prototypes. When the GS1000S project began, that experience influenced everything from the cylinder head design to the carburation system. The engineers pursued efficiency rather than excess. The goal was to create a motorcycle that made every ounce of its horsepower usable. The bike's twin front disc brakes and rear disc setup gave riders stopping power that inspired confidence, while its suspension components balanced stiffness with compliance. The GS1000S was not the lightest machine on the market, but it was one of the most controllable, and that precision became its signature. Styling played a vital role in how people perceived the GS1000S. The distinctive blue and white paint scheme was not chosen for marketing flair alone. It reflected Suzuki's developing identity as a performance brand. The front fairing, minimal yet functional, added aerodynamic advantage and hinted at racing influence. The seat and tank were shaped for comfort and control, allowing long-distance rides without fatigue. It was a rider's machine in every sense, built for those who understood that performance meant more than raw top speed. When the Suzuki GS1000S first reached American shores, it faced an audience already spoiled by fast motorcycles. Competitors had been pushing beyond 1,000 cubic centimeters for years, each claiming superiority in speed and power. Yet the GS1000S offered something subtler and more appealing: refinement. Reviewers of the time noted its effortless acceleration and impeccable manners. It was as if Suzuki had taken the heart of a racer and given it the discipline of a tourer. Riders could unleash its full potential on winding mountain roads and then cruise home at a relaxed pace, confident that the machine would never complain. The creation of the Suzuki GS1000S also marked a shift in the brand's corporate culture. This was not a one-off experiment, but the beginning of a new philosophy centered on harmony between rider and machine. Engineers began emphasizing structural rigidity, weight distribution, and aerodynamics in ways that prefigured future sport bike design. The GS1000S became a testbed for ideas that would later define an entire lineage of Suzuki performance motorcycles. Its debut season in showrooms was more than a commercial success. It was a cultural statement. Riders saw in the GS1000S a symbol of progression, a motorcycle that bridged the gap between the muscular 1970s and the precision-driven 1980s. Every component told a story of refinement and purpose. The crankshaft was overbuilt for durability. The cooling fins were shaped to dissipate heat efficiently. The electrical system was designed to handle sustained loads without failure. Suzuki's attention to detail gave owners confidence that this was not a temporary experiment, but a long-term commitment to four-stroke excellence. The GS1000S also marked Suzuki's transition into the global superbike conversation. The company's engineers had something to prove, and they did so not with marketing slogans but with engineering clarity. Their work created a platform that would later dominate in endurance racing and inspire future production models. This was the genesis of Suzuki's modern identity, a brand defined by consistency, innovation, and measurable performance. What made the Suzuki GS1000S remarkable was not only what it achieved but how it achieved it. It managed to balance old-school craftsmanship with emerging technologies, using lessons learned from both street riders and professional racers. It was powerful but not intimidating, advanced yet accessible. That equilibrium became its hallmark, and soon the GS1000S began building a following that extended beyond traditional brand loyalty. It appealed to purists who appreciated mechanical honesty, as well as to new riders eager to experience a bike that could do everything well. As the decade turned, the GS1000S stood as both culmination and starting point. It closed the chapter on the early superbike experiments and opened another focused on refinement, race heritage, and mass appeal. Suzuki had entered the arena with confidence, but it was about to push that confidence even further. On the racetrack, the GS1000S would meet its destiny and earn the credibility that no advertisement could ever buy. Its transformation from a bold production model into a racing legend would define what Suzuki's superbike dynasty truly meant. The leap from showroom to racetrack was where the Suzuki GS1000S cemented its reputation. When it entered competition under the guidance of tuner Pops Yoshimura and racer Wes Cooley, it evolved from a fast street machine into a precision tool for domination. The partnership between Suzuki and Yoshimura was not accidental. It was a meeting of philosophies. Suzuki built solid, reliable engines. Yoshimura understood how to unlock their hidden potential. Together they found the formula that would elevate the GS1000S to the top of the American Motorcyclist Association's Superbike Championship. The Suzuki GS1000S was inherently well-balanced, but racing demanded more than stability. Yoshimura's team reworked the carburation, refined the exhaust, and tuned the cams to deliver sharp throttle response and mid-range punch. The chassis, already strong, was stiffened to handle extreme cornering forces. Suspension components were upgraded to allow aggressive lean angles without unsettling the bike's composure. The result was a machine that retained the road manners of the original GS1000S while performing with the precision of a full factory racer. Wes Cooley's riding style perfectly matched the GS1000SS characteristics. He was smooth yet fearless, extracting performance without abusing the mechanics. The motorcycle rewarded his finesse with consistency. It responded predictably even at the limit. On racetracks across America, the GS1000S showcased its ability to handle endurance demands that pushed other machines to their limits. The pairing of Cooley and Yoshimura's GS1000S became legendary, demonstrating that Suzuki's engineering could stand shoulder to shoulder with long-established champions. The significance of these victories went far beyond trophies. The AMA Superbike Championship was not just a series. It was a stage where manufacturers proved their technology to riders and buyers. When the Suzuki GS1000S won, it told the public that Suzuki's road bikes were no longer underdogs. Every race demonstrated that the same engine architecture, the same chassis philosophy, and the same aerodynamic focus found on the production bike could triumph at the highest levels of competition. That credibility transformed Suzuki's brand image overnight. Before the GS1000S, Suzuki was often seen as a specialist in small displacement and two-stroke machines. After the GS1000S, it was recognized as a leader in four-stroke innovation. The victories validated not only the design but also the people behind it. engineers returned from racetracks with data that would shape the next generation of motorcycles. They learned how airflow affected stability, how vibration influenced fatigue, and how to extract performance without compromising reliability. The GS1000S was not just a racing machine. It was a living laboratory. Those lessons found their way into every production line. The same attention to engine balance and cooling that allowed the Suzuki GS1000S to endure long races began to influence Suzuki's touring and sport models. Weight distribution studies led to frame designs that improved rider feedback. Even aesthetic details, like the layout of gauges and controls, reflected the ergonomic insights gathered from racers who spent hours testing in grueling conditions. Each element reinforced Suzuki's belief that racing improved the breed, not only in marketing slogans but in tangible design decisions. The GS1000S racing era coincided with a turning point in motorcycle engineering. Manufacturers were transitioning from brute force muscle to measured performance, using technology to fine-tune behavior rather than simply adding power. The GS1000S fit that moment perfectly. It was the right machine at the right time, offering a blend of endurance and aggression that resonated with a new generation of riders who valued control as much as speed. In the hands of professionals, it was unstoppable. In the hands of enthusiasts, it was approachable. Suzuki's engineers paid close attention to rider experience, refining not only mechanical aspects but emotional connection. The GS1000S gave feedback through every vibration, every shift, every sweep of the tachometer. That engagement created loyalty. Riders felt part of the process, not just passengers on a machine. The GS1000S encouraged skill development. It rewarded patience, punished carelessness, and inspired confidence. That sense of communication between rider and motorcycle would become a defining trait of Suzuki's future sport bikes. Behind the scenes, the collaboration with Yoshimura became one of the most successful partnerships in motorcycle history. The racing victories of the GS1000S forged a link between factory and tuner that would continue for decades. Each race tested new components under real-world stress, allowing Suzuki to evolve its engineering faster than competitors who relied solely on internal development. This synergy ensured that Suzuki's next generation of machines would inherit the GS1000SS DNA of precision and durability. The legacy of the Suzuki GS1000SS racing triumphs extended beyond performance metrics. It reshaped how riders viewed the relationship between road and track. For many enthusiasts, owning a GS1000S meant owning a piece of that racing spirit. It proved that technology born on the racetrack could improve everyday riding. The same aerodynamic fairing that reduced drag for Cooley's machine also provided wind protection for commuters. The same responsive engine mapping that delivered lap victories gave weekend riders smoother acceleration on highways. The GS1000S became a cultural icon for authenticity. It did not rely on flamboyant styling or marketing stunts. Its reputation was earned through measurable performance and visible results. Suzuki's success with this model showed that engineering integrity could capture the imagination of riders just as effectively as raw speed or futuristic styling. By blending technical credibility with real-world usability, the GS1000S created a blueprint for every modern superbike that followed. As the racing seasons progressed, other manufacturers began adopting Suzuki's approach. They too sought balance, reliability, and accessibility. Yet none could replicate the GS1000S's particular chemistry of simplicity and precision. It had been designed with care, refined through experience, and proven through victory. Even as more powerful machines appeared in the early 1980s, the GS1000S remained a benchmark for how to design a superbike that could do everything well. By the end of its competitive reign, the Suzuki GS1000S had achieved more than its creators could have imagined. It bridged the gap between street and sport, between engineering and emotion. It turned Suzuki into a household name among performance enthusiasts and established a technical foundation that would lead directly to the creation of the next-generation GSX models. What began as a response to market competition had evolved into the cornerstone of a dynasty that would dominate global superbike design for years to come. When the roar of the Suzuki GS1000S began to fade from racetracks, its influence only grew stronger. The lessons learned from its design and victories guided Suzuki into a new era of engineering ambition. The GS1000S had proven that balance was the secret to performance, and that concept would shape every model that followed. In the early 1980s, Suzuki engineers took everything the GS1000S taught them about rigidity, aerodynamics, and power delivery, and used it to create motorcycles that would carry the brand into the modern age. The GS1000S was more than a product. It was a philosophy in metal. Every curve of its frame, every bolt of its engine, embodied the pursuit of harmony between strength and finesse. Its influence could be seen in the emergence of the GSX-1100 and, later, the revolutionary GSX-R series. Those later machines would push boundaries with aluminum frames, oil-cooled engines, and featherweight handling. But at their core lived the spirit of the GS1000S. The drive to make a motorcycle both powerful and manageable, both thrilling and dependable, came directly from the DNA established in 1979. What made the Suzuki GS1000S so enduring was its human side. It was a machine that seemed to understand its rider. Its ergonomics were natural, its throttle response predictable, and its weight distribution forgiving. These qualities built confidence, and confidence built loyalty. Riders who owned a GS1000S often kept it for decades, not because it was the fastest anymore, but because it represented a moment when technology and trust aligned perfectly. Many owners still describe it as the motorcycle that taught them what control truly felt like. Culturally, the Suzuki GS1000S became a symbol of transition. It marked the end of the heavy, raw superbike era and the beginning of refined performance. The late 1970s had been about horsepower contests and straight-line bravado. The GS1000S shifted the focus to handling, durability, and real-world usability. It taught an entire industry that success meant not only going fast, but going fast consistently and safely. That shift in mindset helped mature the sport bike category into something sustainable and globally respected. Even today, the GS1000S holds an aura of authenticity. Collectors seek it not as a museum piece, but as a reminder of a time when motorcycles were tangible expressions of mechanical artistry. The simplicity of its analog gauges, the hum of its air-cooled engine, the stability of its steel frame, all evoke an era when engineering skill mattered more than electronic intervention. In a world now dominated by digital control systems, the GS1000S stands as a reminder of what pure mechanical connection can offer. From a historical standpoint, the Suzuki GS1000S bridged the gap between two generations of motorcycling. It preserved the tactile charm of the 1970s while pointing toward the efficiency and precision of the 1980s. That dual identity makes it one of the most significant motorcycles ever produced. Without it, Suzuki's future innovations might have taken a different path. The GS1000S validated the company's technical direction, convincing management and engineers alike that they could compete at the highest level through discipline and imagination. The motorcycle's influence extended even beyond Suzuki's lineup. Rival manufacturers took note of its approach. Use racing to refine, not just to market. Focus on rider usability rather than raw numbers. Create a platform that can evolve, rather than a one-off hero model. The GS1000SS philosophy quietly reshaped industry thinking. Where others chased temporary dominance, Suzuki had built a foundation for longevity. That mindset helped it remain competitive through the technological shifts that followed, from liquid cooling to electronic fuel injection. For enthusiasts today, the GS1000S represents the perfect middle ground between nostalgia and performance. Its air-cooled engine delivers character that modern bikes rarely match, and its manageable weight keeps it engaging to ride even decades later. Many restorers and riders keep these machines in regular use, preserving their originality while enjoying the raw yet refined sensation they provide. Each startup, each ride, connects them to the pioneering spirit that defined the superbike movement. The legacy of the Suzuki GS1000S is not just about what it achieved but what it inspired. Its creation sparked a chain reaction of innovation that led Suzuki to dominate sport bike design for decades. The GSX-R750, perhaps the most famous descendant, carried the same ethos of balance, usability, and racing DNA. Without the groundwork laid by the GS1000S, that lineage might never have existed in its legendary form. The GS1000SS success also inspired Suzuki to keep a close bond with its racing partners, ensuring that development on the track would always feed into the street. Ultimately, the Suzuki GS1000S stands as a reminder of what happens when a brand dares to evolve. It showed that engineering courage could transform perception, that reliability could coexist with performance, and that riders would always respond to authenticity. Its lines remain graceful, its performance still respectable, and its story endlessly compelling. Even 40 years later, the GS1000S continues to teach the same lesson it did in 1979. True innovation begins not with excess, but with balance. The story of the Suzuki GS1000S ends where its legacy begins. With a machine that did not just win races or sell motorcycles, but changed how people thought about what a superbike could be. Its creation marked Suzuki's transformation from a capable competitor into a technological leader. Every element of the GS1000S, from its steady power delivery to its race-proven geometry, reflected a design team that understood the difference between spectacle and substance. The GS1000SS endurance on both road and track remains one of its greatest achievements. Long after newer models eclipsed its specifications, the GS1000S continued to inspire confidence in riders who valued reliability as much as performance. It taught that precision matters more than excess, and that true speed is built on trust between rider and machine. That trust became the cornerstone of Suzuki's engineering culture, carrying forward into generations of motorcycles that still echo the GS1000SS design logic. From an industry perspective, the GS1000S demonstrated how a single model could reshape a brand's trajectory. Before its release, Suzuki was respected but rarely considered a leader in four-stroke performance. Afterward, the company stood among the elite. The GS1000S validated the belief that careful refinement could rival raw power. It proved that innovation often comes not from chasing trends but from perfecting fundamentals. That insight would guide Suzuki as it developed the GSX and GSXR series, each model building upon the foundation the GS1000S established. For riders, the Suzuki GS1000S offered something deeply personal: a sense of partnership. It responded faithfully, encouraged skill, and never felt unpredictable. Even at high speed, it projected calm authority. This emotional connection made it memorable in ways few machines achieve. The GS1000S was not a trophy bike. It was a trusted companion that turned every ride into an act of confidence. Looking back, the GS1000S stands as a moment of balance in motorcycling history. It captured the raw spirit of the 1970s while introducing the refined discipline that defined the decades to come. Its blend of performance, durability, and style created a formula that many have tried to replicate but few have matched. Modern sport bikes, with their advanced electronics and extreme power, still owe a quiet debt to the GS1000SS simple genius. Time has given the Suzuki GS1000S a new kind of prestige. No longer judged by numbers, it is appreciated for its integrity. Collectors seek it not for profit but for preservation, recognizing it as a symbol of when motorcycle design was equal parts art and science. It represents the moment Suzuki found its voice and began a dynasty that continues to evolve today. The story of the GS1000S reminds us that progress does not always mean abandoning the past. Sometimes it means refining it until it reaches perfection. The Suzuki GS1000S did just that. It taught an industry how to build faster, smarter, and better. Not by reinventing the wheel but by understanding it completely. In doing so, it set a standard that endures to this day. The GS1000S was not merely the birth of a superbike dynasty. It was the proof that vision, patience, and precision can change everything. Its roar may have faded, but its influence continues to echo through every curve of every modern sport machine. For anyone who has ever twisted a throttle and felt that seamless surge of power, the spirit of the Suzuki GS1000S is still very much alive.